William Todd Austin was a 37-year-old man who lived in Arlington, Texas. He was the founder and owner of a business called Credit Champs. His company helped people repair their credit and improve their financial lives. Many people knew him for his work in the community and his presence on social media. He spent much of his time teaching others how to handle money. He made videos and gave advice on how to build credit, buy homes, and manage debt. People listened to him because he explained things clearly. He built a large following online and gained respect as a business leader. Todd often shared moments from his daily life on social platforms. He posted motivational quotes and short speeches. He dressed professionally and appeared confident in his business roles. Clients and followers believed in the services he offered. Many thanked him for helping them reach their financial goals. Outside of work, Todd was also a father. He had a child with a woman named Michelle Williams. Their relationship had ended, but they still had to communicate because of their child. Though they were no longer a couple, they remained linked through parenting responsibilities. People around Todd knew he was focused on expanding his company. He made plans for future business growth and wanted to become a national brand. He often encouraged young people to become entrepreneurs and take control of their futures. He used his own story as an example of how to grow from humble beginnings. In public, Todd showed no signs of fear or worry. He continued to speak at events, meet clients, and promote his brand. He kept a steady image of success and control. His life appeared structured and focused, with no major issues visible to outsiders. Todd's name became well known in his city. He was recognized not just as a businessman, but also as a person who gave hope to people with financial struggles. His career, public image, and goals placed him in the spotlight until the final day of his life. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Where are you tuning in from? What are your thoughts as this story unfolds? Your voice matters. These are real people, real tragedies, and real lessons we can't ignore. Share this video with someone you care about. It could make all the difference. Welcome to Unseen Crime Dossiers, your home for spine-chilling cases, haunting before mysteries, and deep dives into the world of crime. From jaw-dropping real-life events to groundbreaking forensic discoveries, we're here to uncover the truth behind the most gripping investigations. Step inside, examine the evidence, and lose yourself in the shadows of true crime. Michelle Williams was a 37-year-old woman from Texas. She was known by some in her community, but she did not have the same public presence as William Todd Austin. She kept most of her personal life private and did not often appear in the spotlight. She and Todd once shared a romantic relationship. During their time together, they had a child. After their breakup, the two remained connected because of parenting. Their relationship did not continue peacefully, and there were reports of ongoing personal issues between them. Timon was not involved in public business the way Todd was. Her activities and work history were not widely known. Friends and family describe her as quiet but strong-minded. She did not have a large social media presence or known business background. In the months before the incident, people close to her noticed changes. She began sharing certain posts online that showed frustration and sadness. These messages were not always clear, but they gave the impression that she was going through something difficult emotionally. Timona's connection to Todd continued after their breakup, mainly through matters related to their child. There were signs that tension remained between them. Though there were no official reports of violence between the two before the incident, their situation was described as strained by some who knew them. On the day of the shooting, Timon entered the salon where Todd was. She had a firearm with her. After firing at Todd, she later turned the gun on herself. Both died from their injuries. The events happened quickly, and police responded within minutes of the first emergency call. Timona's actions left many people surprised. Her life came to a sudden end inside a public business, leaving behind a child with no living parents. Her name became widely known only after the tragic event that took place in Arlington. On the morning of July 11th, 2025, the Spa Galleria on South Cooper Street in Arlington, Texas, opened for business like any other day. It was a quiet place with several beauty and hair salons inside. Workers were getting ready. Customers were arriving, and everything seemed normal. At around 10:15 a.m., William Todd Austin arrived at the salon. He walked inside and appeared calm. He may have been there for a service or to meet someone. Nothing about his arrival seemed unusual. Staff and other people nearby continued their normal routines without any concern. A short time later, Timon Michelle Williams entered the same salon. She was carrying a bag. Inside it was a firearm. She walked with purpose and moved directly toward the area where Todd was located. There was no loud argument, no warning, and no long conversation before the violence started. Timon pulled out the gun and fired several shots. Todd was struck multiple times and collapsed on the salon floor. The sound of gunfire caused panic. People inside the building ran for cover. Some rushed outside. Others called 911. The scene turned from quiet to chaos in seconds. When officers arrived, they moved quickly to secure the area. Emergency medical teams were called to treat the victims. Before the officers could approach her, Timon used a weapon on herself. She was found with a gunshot wound and was still breathing when help arrived. Both Todd and Timon were transported to the hospital. Despite efforts by doctors, neither of them survived their injuries. Todd was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Timon died not long after. Their bodies were taken for autopsy, and police began collecting evidence from the scene. The incident shocked everyone who witnessed it. Yellow tape was placed around the salon. Police stayed on the scene for hours to speak with witnesses and review footage. The building, once used for beauty and self-care, became the center of a murder-suicide investigation. As soon as the 911 calls came in, emergency services rushed to the Spa Galleria. Police officers were the first to arrive. They entered the building with caution, unsure the shooter was still active or if anyone else was in danger. Inside the salon, officers found 2 people down. William Todd Austin had been shot several times. Timon Michelle Williams was also found with a gunshot wound. Medical personnel were called into the building to give first aid on the spot before transporting both individuals to the hospital. Outside, patrol cars blocked the area. Yellow tape was stretched around the building. Officers began guiding customers and staff to safety. Some were crying. Others were still in shock. Everyone who had seen what happened was asked to stay and speak to investigators. Paramedics moved quickly. Todd was placed in an ambulance and taken to a nearby trauma center. Timon was also taken to a hospital in critical condition. Police followed both ambulances to secure the scene at the hospitals and monitor any developments. Back at the scene, detectives began collecting physical evidence. Officers searched the salon, photographed the area, and secured the weapon used in the shooting. Witnesses who remained were interviewed one by one to build a timeline of what occurred inside the salon. Later that same day, officials confirmed that both Todd and Timon had died from their injuries. The case was now classified as a murder-suicide. The building remained closed for the rest of the day while cleanup crews and investigators finished their work. The city's emergency response teams followed all protocols. Police filed reports. Medics recorded treatment details. All events were documented for the official case file. The goal was to understand exactly how the tragedy happened and to complete the investigation with all facts in place. The salon where the shooting took place was a shared space used by several beauty professionals. Hairstylists, nail technicians, and skincare workers rented their own booths inside the building. On that morning, many of them had clients scheduled and were busy working when the shots were fired. People inside the building described the moment as loud and sudden. The sound of gunfire caused confusion and fear. Some customers screamed. Others froze in place. Several people dropped what they were doing and ran toward the exits to escape. A few workers locked themselves inside their booths and called for help. They stayed quiet until the police arrived. Others hid in storage rooms or restrooms, unsure if the danger was still present. The entire salon became silent, except for the sound of running feet and emergency sirens in the distance. When the building was secured, officers began talking to those who stayed behind. Some witnesses were too shaken to speak right away. Others gave clear descriptions of what they saw. Police gathered names and contact information to continue interviews later. Outside, more people had gathered. Family members, nearby workers, and bystanders stood behind the yellow tape. Some were trying to reach loved ones inside. Others waited for answers. Police controlled the crowd and kept everyone at a safe distance from the building. The environment around the salon remained tense for hours. Business owners stood outside, unable to return to their booths. Customers left personal items behind as they were evacuated. The normal workday was replaced with flashing lights, marked vehicles, and news cameras filming the scene. By the end of the day, the building was empty except for law enforcement. All business activity was paused. Cleanup crews arrived later to begin restoring the space. The beauty salon, once known for haircuts and customer service, had become the site of a tragic and unexpected incident. William Todd Austin and Timon Michelle Williams had one child together. That child is now without both parents. The loss was immediate and permanent. It changed the child's life forever in just a few minutes. Family members were contacted soon after the incident. The child was placed in the care of close relatives. Safety and emotional support became the first concern. The people around the child were left to explain a situation that was hard to understand. School officials and counselors were notified. Plans were made to give the child access to mental health support. Social services followed normal procedures to make sure the child would be protected and receive proper care in the weeks and months ahead. Relatives from both sides came forward. They expressed willingness to help. Some offered to provide housing, while others promised to assist with raising the child. Legal decisions were expected to be handled through family court in a quiet and private manner. The child's name and age were not shared publicly. Authorities kept those details private to protect the child's identity. Public attention remained focused on the investigation and the people involved in the shooting, not on the minor who had been affected. Community members expressed concern. People brought toys, cards, and supplies to the family. While the adults involved in the case were no longer living, the child remained a reminder of what had happened. Support came from both friends and strangers. The child now begins a new chapter surrounded by a different family structure. Life will continue, but the impact of the event will remain. The path forward includes change, care, and a need for stability during a very difficult time. News of the murder-suicide quickly spread online. Within hours, social media platforms were filled with posts, photos, and videos related to the incident. People from different cities began sharing their thoughts, memories, and opinions. On Facebook and Instagram, many users shared old pictures of William Todd Austin. Some wrote messages about his work, calling him helpful and driven. His followers posted comments expressing disbelief. They remembered watching his business videos and attending his events. Others posted about Timon Michelle Williams. A few people defended her, saying she was struggling emotionally. Some accounts claimed there were signs of mental distress. These messages created arguments online, with people debating what led up to the tragedy. Videos of the salon scene, police cars, and yellow tape were shared across platforms. Local news stations posted updates, and national blogs picked up the story. Hashtags connected to the names of the two people involved began trending in some areas. Public reactions were mixed. Some focused on the violence. Others talked about relationships and personal warning signs. Influencers and bloggers used the story as an example in discussions about domestic matters and mental health. Comments sections became active with thousands of opinions. Some users expressed anger. Others showed sadness. Many people said they wished the situation had ended differently. Across the internet, the story became part of a larger conversation about safety and awareness. Memorial pages were created to honor the lives lost. Supporters donated to family members and shared encouraging words. The online space became a place where people gathered to process what had happened, even if they had never met either person involved. After securing the scene, detectives began a full investigation into what took place at the salon. Officers collected physical evidence, interviewed witnesses, and reviewed footage from nearby security cameras to build a clear timeline of the events. The weapon used in the shooting was recovered at the scene. It was registered under Timon Michelle Williams' name. Ballistics confirmed it was the same firearm that caused both deaths. No other weapons were found in the area. Police reviewed phone records and social media activity from both individuals. Messages, posts, and shared content were examined for signs of planning or distress. Several posts made in the days leading up to the incident were included in the final case report. Witness interviews provided more details about how the situation unfolded. Statements described the exact moment shots were heard and confirmed that there was little or no conversation before the gunfire. Those inside the salon helped establish a minute-by-minute sequence. Medical examiners later released reports confirming the cause of death for both Todd and Timon. Autopsy results matched the evidence found at the scene. The official report listed the case as a murder-suicide with no other suspects involved. Surveillance footage showed both individuals entering the building at different times. Investigators confirmed that Timon was alone and had brought the firearm with her. Todd did not appear to expect any kind of threat. After completing their investigation, police shared their findings with the families and the public. The case was closed once all evidence was reviewed and documented. The report was placed in official records and marked as final. The news of the murder-suicide left a lasting effect on the Arlington community. Local residents were shocked by what happened at a place where people normally came to relax and take care of themselves. The story remained a topic of discussion for weeks. Businesses near the salon responded by adjusting their schedules and reviewing safety plans. Some shop owners closed early in the days following the event. Staff members were offered time off and emotional support while the area returned to normal operations. Community leaders made statements about the tragedy. They encouraged people to check on friends, family, and neighbors. Several groups organized quiet gatherings and support circles to allow people to talk and reflect on the situation. Local schools and youth organizations used the moment to promote awareness. Flyers and notices were shared, reminding people about available services and resources. Mental health workers visited neighborhoods to offer assistance where needed. Churches and community centers held small memorial services. These events focused on healing and helping those closest to the individuals involved. Messages shared during these services focused on moving forward and finding peace after a difficult loss. Some residents raised money through donation drives. The funds were directed toward the care of the child left behind and to cover basic expenses. Local businesses also gave support, offering free services and goods to help ease the burden on the family. The final result was a quiet but strong show of unity from people across the city. Though nothing could undo what happened, the response showed that the community was willing to stand together and provide help where it was needed most. Here at Unseen Crime Dossiers, we're driven by a mission to uncover hidden realities, honor forgotten voices, and keep their memories alive. If the story made you pause, reflect, or feel something, there's more coming that will challenge you even deeper. Make sure to hit subscribe, tap the like button, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a case. We're dropping new episodes regularly, and trust us, what's ahead is even more chilling. Before you go, we want to hear from you. What moment hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments. Your perspective matters, and your voice helps keep these stories alive. Until next time, stay alert, stay informed, and never stop seeking the truth, because every life deserves to be heard.